Undo and redo. Simple actions, but incredibly powerful actions. In this section, we're going to have a look at a number of the reasons why we absolutely want to support a reversible history inside our applications. So I probably don't need to explain the purpose of undo and redo. We're all familiar with it. Undo lets us go back to revert from a certain action. Redo lets us repeat that specific action. So effectively it's a way then of where we have a number of actions to step back and forth across that series of actions. And it offers us a really, really capable and powerful way of improving the experience, the user experience within our applications. And there's a few assumptions in this. The first one, and it's the third paragraph here, it is really important that when we're thinking about undo and redo, these are modeled around the user's mental model. So whenever the user clicks undo, we want to be careful to think about, okay, so the user's undoing the last action that they have done. And that's from their point of view. They want to undo the last step that they have done. So it really is important for us to think about, well, from the user's point of view, what was that step? And let's undo that. And that may or may not be slightly different from the implementation model. So it's we need to be quite careful then about how we size and how we understand and what are the size of the steps that we take when we go back and forth across this potentially reversible history. And one of the things, and we'll pick this up in the next slide then, is that changing our mind, a person deciding, okay, I want to do something different, or no, I want to change this. That's what we do. This is what humans do. It's a perfectly normal reaction. It's an everyday reaction. And it is fundamentally a mistake to think about undo or redo in terms of, the user's made an error, let them go back and undo that error. We're not talking about mistakes here, we're not talking about errors. And part of the reason for this here, and one of the major advantages of supporting a reversible history, is that it enables exploration. And if we accept the fact then that the user changing his or her mind is just a perfectly normal thing, it opens up and gives us a bit of an insight then into quite often that people engage in exploratory behavior. They may click on something to see what it does. They may try something out with a certain setting to see if that's what they're looking for. That's fine, it's just them exploring different aspects. Sometimes you may end up with an outcome you think, no, that's not what I want to go back then. So undo and redo, they're there to help support exploration. And we really, really want to encourage and sell and promote exploration inside our applications. We want to get our users comfortable with the idea they can just try things out to see what it is. And if you don't like the outcome, they can go back and change it back to what it was. And that helps from a whole variety of reasons. It means then that it makes it more likely that our users will try things out to see what difference they have. They will discover new features. They will discover different, potentially better ways of doing things. And if the user does use undo and redo and becomes comfortable with it, and they think that, this application is great because if I do something I don't like, I can go back, that builds their confidence in the application. They will trust it more. They will know that if they do something they don't like, doesn't matter, they can revert the thing back. And that's a fantastic element then of building trust. It's a fantastic element of improving the experience of our users. And if we do it right, that will really make a significant difference. Versioning and reversioning are similar to this idea of undo and redo, but operate over a longer time span. Typically, undo and redo is for the series of actions that the user's been performing inside the current session. If you're dealing with something though where you're developing an artifact, a document, a code base, and that artifact is developed over a period of days, weeks, months, years, then versioning and reversioning, they capture significant changes inside that. And they, again, as developers, you'll be aware of all of this here, they provide us with an opportunity to revert back to different points in time. Again, it's a really powerful and capable aspect. And a lot of things now actually do support it, but where possible we should support it if we are talking about something where this makes sense in terms of looking at an evolution over time. So that's all I want to cover inside undo and redo. Small amount of material, but it really is quite an important, quite a powerful feature that often is overlooked inside many of our applications. Now we're going to go on after this then to think about how we can support scanning and through visual hierarchies in a little bit more detail.